Emily, who allowed you to be this beautiful? Who allowed you to take my breath away?
I can't remember anything after that.
That was my attempt to be Beanie Feinstein?
Fieldstein? I don't know.
Jonah Hill's little sister.
Yeah, no. I'd give you like a 7 out of 10.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
I tried my best.
No.
This is The Swamp. The Swamp is an acronym
for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And today we're going to be talking about a whack-ass movie. The 2019 directorial debut of Olivia Wilde, Booksmart. This was one of the requested films. This whole month we're doing listener requested movies, things that people wanted us to talk about. And we got a couple people who asked us to do Booksmart. It's definitely a pretty popular movie from a couple of years ago. A lot of conversation. I think a lot of people liked it. So we got asked to do it. So we are going to talk about that today. Emily, how do you feel about this movie?
I really like this movie. This is the second time I've watched it, and it definitely stuck with me more than the first time watching it. I just think it's a bit of a romp. I have a great time watching this every time. I think that the cast really embodies every character.
There's two. Great cast.
Yeah, great cast. Perfect casting. Yeah.
I would agree that it's a bit of a romp. I would say my first experience watching the movie was a little bit rocky. I saw it with some friends when it came out in the theaters, and we were at the movie theater, and maybe 5 minutes in, the screen turned black, but the audio for the movie kept going.
Oh, no.
So somebody had to scurry out and get a Cinemagic manager, and they were like, "Hey, the movie screen's broken. Can you fix it? Whatever." And so somebody comes in. We're hearing all the audio, but we can't see the movie. And we're like, "This is weird." But then they fixed it, but they had to start the movie from the beginning. But we were only 5 minutes in, so it wasn't a big deal.
Not
But so
terrible.
we had to watch the beginning again, and then it went fine. But they felt so bad that they gave us all free vouchers to go see another movie.
What'd you see?
I saw Ma. Which is really what left the sour taste in my mouth. That I got a free movie voucher, which is hell yeah, going to the movies is fucking expensive. And something that I do a lot. So I was I get to go for free? Hell yeah. And a friend of mine roped me into seeing Ma, because we thought it would, Octavia Spencer, we had good vibes about it. Connecting link being Diane Silvers. Yeah, she was in both.
Nice.
She was in these two mediocre movies that I saw. For the price of one.
So you would classify Booksmart as mediocre?
I don't love it. I do think it's a fun movie. And I rewatching it for this, I did, I laughed. I had a good time watching it. I wasn't rolling my eyes like I do with most movies that I dislike, but it's just not special to me. And also it's so fucking tropey, and that it didn't really do much that I hadn't seen before. And I hate to say that I don't like it because it reminds me too much of something else, but I would just rather watch Superbad.
Yeah.
It's just the Lady Ghostbusters version of Superbad. It's just the Lady Superbad.
Yeah.
Literally down to the fact that fucking Jonah Hill and his little sister, are you kidding me?
Quite the link.
It's a very one-to-one direct translation, and I just think Superbad's a better movie. I just think it's a funnier movie. It's just a better movie. So that's kind of where I stand on this. I think it's very, takes a lot of the, high school comedy, end of senior year, the nerdy kids are gonna have one fun day of partying. It's really overdone, and I think that this one in particular does add a lot of really funny dialogue and kind of unique characters and moments that I do think make it worth watching, but not something that would make me recommend this movie to those who haven't seen it. I wouldn't.
You won't be compelled to rewatch it anytime.
No, but if it was on, if somebody was let's watch this movie that I really like, I'd be okay.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I think so I really like sort of the characters that Olivia Wilde decided to portray as her main protagonist, but I also think it was a really interesting choice. I think that the social justice warriors in high school,
they are the two least likable characters almost in the whole movie, I would say. I
think we as people that graduated high school in 2017, probably were one of the first generations to really go through high school with these kind of girls.
Yeah, I would say
I'm thinking about Miss Biggs's class, and I know there was at least 5 of them in each of her classes.
Yeah, I would say up to maybe 2 or 3 years before us, and definitely very much in our generation and what this movie's generation is portraying is like, I don't know if this is like an official term, but like pussy hat feminism.
Yeah.
Like very performative white cis women who go to the marches for the photo op, who put it on Instagram, black out their screens for Black Lives Matter type shit, which is like good and fine and things that aren't a bad thing, but also
you're not
like,
doing anything.
Yeah, like, and just like feeling high and mighty because you have a framed photo of Ruth Bader Ginsburg in your bedroom. You think you're better than everyone else because you like, you know who Susan B. Anthony is. Like, shut the fuck up, Jesus Christ.
One thing I will say though is that I really like about this movie is how strongly and how fast they define who these girls are. Within like the first 2 minutes of the movie, you're just in Beanie Fieldstein's bedroom and there's maybe 2 shots and you're like, I know this girl's entire life. And the same thing with Caitlin Dever's car with all the bumper stickers on the back. You're like, I know exactly who this girl is. I went to high school with her.
Yeah, exactly. I would say maybe that is such a, like, strikes a chord with us because we knew those girls.
Yeah,
It, we, friends with some people like that,
we certainly, we're in similar circles.
Yeah, and I would say that I was even kind of like that to some degree. Definitely like I
think a lot of girls...
I know what feminism is in high school, and I'm gonna, be about that, I guess. Which, it's
Put
fun.
feminist in my Instagram bio.
Oh my god.
It's like, look at me.
But yeah, I do think that the set design of this movie is really cool because it's like a lot of visual indicators about their personality from the bedroom, the car, even how they
fashion,
dress. I think was very good. You didn't have to be told, you could be shown, and you get their friendship dynamic like right off the bat. What I was trying to emulate in the opener, which I definitely didn't do, like that scene with the car, she's driving her friend to school and they're like, you're beautiful, you're
gorgeous.
stunning,
I can't believe you're my best friend.
and
who let you look like this?
I just think that it's a good, fun relationship, and I guess we don't see a ton of movies about like female friendships. I could say like this movie, if they were dating or if they were like two boys, I feel like not a lot of movies focus on female friendships, and I think that was a pretty cool new take, but they did just take a bunch of things from movies that already existed and made it about 2 high school girls rather than boys, which is, whatever.
Yeah. It's just a little collage, which isn't
bad. It's fun to watch.
I don't mind it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time, but there, like you said, you can definitely pick up on all the tropes.
Yeah. So like speaking of that scene where she's picking, I'm going to try to use the characters. Molly is Amy, and Molly is Beanie, and Amy is Caitlin Denver. And so she's picking Molly up for school, and they like have this like cute banter moment outside of the car. And then there's a couple other like moments throughout the movie that were included in the trailer. And this is maybe my biggest beef with this movie, because when the trailer came out, 2018, 2019, whatever,
great.
Was so fucking excited for this movie. I thought this was going to be a banger. I knew obviously it was going to kind of be a stereotypical high school comedy, but from what the trailer showed me, I was like, holy shit, this movie's gonna be so good. All of the best moments from the movie condensed into 2 minutes. That's the trailer. There are a lot of other things, a lot of funny moments that you didn't get, but I think the moments that made me laugh the most were things that I had already laughed at because I saw them in the trailer. And I think they just kind of maybe showed too much. I mean, I guess it worked because I paid to go see it.
Yeah. They got you in the seat.
Yeah, it captured a lot of people's attention for sure. I remember when the trailer came out, it was, really blew up on social media. A lot of people were really excited about it. But yeah, I just think that it didn't really impress me beyond
what you
the trailer. I saw it and I was like, oh, I didn't laugh because I knew all the good jokes,
You've pretty much seen and get the entire point of the movie.
Yeah, there certainly are other points that I think maybe make it worth watching, but that I remember after seeing it in the theater, I was like, huh.
Yeah, I think a lot of what stands out to me are all of the other characters in the movie in that way. Like, I've seen and I know Amy and Molly from the trailer, but everyone else in the movie, like, getting to actually sit down and watch it, they really shine through at least. And one person I want to talk about is Billy Lord.
I was going to say, though, you do get some Billy Lord in the trailer.
That's
you
true.
do get a little of that Jared kid. You get the gay kids who throw
love them.
The mystery dinner or whatever. You did get little snippets of those people, and so they shine more in the full film, obviously. But I was expecting them. I already knew that they were going to show up. So not to get on my high horse about movie trailers or whatever. I just remember being a little disappointed because of how excited the trailer made me. And I don't know. That's maybe why the reason I harbor a little bit of resentment for this film, that I won't fully give myself into really enjoying it, because I'm like, oh, I had that one experience.
You've got a bit of a grudge.
And then I used my free ticket to see Ma, so can't take that one back.
I don't know what you're mad about. Ma was a masterpiece. But Billy Lord. That's the tangent I wanted to jump on. I think that, for people that steal the show, she did it incredibly well. And one thing I really love is her little trope of popping up everywhere all throughout the movie. Because there are
people like that who I feel like in high school or college or whatever, like vague acquaintances who just for some reason
they're there. They're always there.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, like weird.
I think where that came from though is that, and I heard this somewhere, I'm not sure exactly where, that she was just so good in the movie that Olivia Wilde just wanted to, just kept adding her because it was just outstanding.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the same thing, that she was only supposed to really have that cruise ship scene at the beginning, and she just was so funny that they're like, she's gonna bring something. So they put her in everything else.
And she did. It was a power move.
I would say the character's a little much for me. Like, obviously it's a movie, so all the characters are exaggerated beyond what, is real.
Yeah.
But, like, nobody acts like that. It was I'm like, unbelievable to the point where it kind of took me out of it, where I was like, okay, this is like silly and funny, but it's also like distracting and a little ridiculous. But I did love it. She's great. She's great.
Yeah.
But like, nobody fucking acts like that. In high school, nobody wears a fur coat and humps the front of their friend's car and like sniffs drugs.
I don't know about that. I don't know about those last two parts. The fur coat's the most unrealistic part of what you just described.
I was just like, okay, she's a really funny character, but like, where is this coming from?
The entire movie is over the top, so it definitely
it fits the vibe, for sure.
It's a little above and beyond, but I think it works.
I would say, not to like keep bashing on this movie.
This is just gonna be an hour of
No, I do enjoy it, but I will say, since we're talking about Billy Lord, I just find it kind of funny. Olivia Wilde, made a couple of statements about how she was really proud about the casting of this film and how they really tried to look beyond the resumes and more about, chemistry and everything, which fully fair. It's a great movie and everyone plays their character really well.
I didn't know anyone else besides her, really.
But you gotta notice the nepotism. The Hollywood nepotism in this movie is bursting at the fucking seams. So
who am I missing?
So
I know Beanie.
Beanie is Jonah Hill's little sister. Okay.
Billy Lord is Carrie Fisher's
daughter. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son is the love interest. What's his name? Nick, the VP kid.
I didn't even realize that was him.
That's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. There's like a couple of other ones too, where it's just like the famous people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jason Sudeikis got put in there.
Like what the fuck was that? I'm trying to think of other ones. Did you know? Okay.
I can't be mad at him though, because
he was
he got left by Olivia Wilde for little Fruity Harry Styles.
Bummer, huge bummer.
Huge bummer.
For Jason Sudeikis. He's gonna like show up to the function wearing high-waisted pants and like suspenders, and he's gonna be like, "Am I good enough for you now?"
A little eyeliner, just a handful of rings.
But maybe not as bursting at the seams as I so originally claimed, but a lot of the cast of this movie are like famous people's kids and relatives, and I was just like, okay, Olivia Wilde, you're so brilliantly casting this movie with all of your friends' kids, whatever. But
they just don't know anyone's last name, so it's fine. It's just like, as long as they have no idea.
But I do want to note that the kid who plays what's his name? Gigi's friend, the other really rich kid.
Jared. I love Jared.
What a good character. He was the voice of one of the Air Buddies.
No
Do you remember?
way.
Like, there's Air Bud,
Yeah.
but then there was Air Buddies, and there was a whole bunch of movies. And he was like B-Dog, the one who was like supposed to be like a gangster. Air Buddy, yeah, that was his like Hollywood start or whatever.
I love that.
Which I thought, I was looking up their IMDb's to like see you know what these kids had been in otherwise, and I was like, yeah, I could see that for him.
I was really impressed with his performance as well. I quite liked him in this.
Me too. I will say I like the sort of twist of this movie that kind of brings light to, like, you don't really know people beyond your judgments of them, I guess. Like,
exactly.
the whole plot of, like, these two girls think that they are better than everyone because they do really well in school and they, you know, do a lot of extracurriculars, they got into Ivy League schools, whatever, they think they're above it, but then they realize that all these kids that they think of as kind of, like, you know, lower are, like, doing just as well. And not only are they also smart, but they're like fun and nice and cool to be around.
I think that was one of the more original facets of this movie, and I really appreciated that. It just sucks that it came in at
this
the
package,
very last minute. I mean, it was like the last 20 minutes of the movie, and it's like, oh,
everyone's
nice.
cool and nice and fun. Yeah, they're very like judgy towards all of their classmates. You get that first scene where it's the last day of school, and they're like annoyed that there's confetti and whatever, and they're like, meh.
I mean, I think they got that really right with, like, those kind of girls that they were trying to portray.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That was very spot on.
No, that is, yeah, for sure. But, and then you see that the kids that they think are so mean are never even mean to them. I would say the one scene that justifies maybe their judgment is when Molly is in the bathroom and she hears these other three kids kind of talking shit about her, but they're also kind of like, it's more like backhanded compliments. Yeah. They're like, she's pretty and smart, but she is like uptight. Yeah. Which I don't think anybody talks about their peers like that in that very like specifically, I don't know, you could be like, oh, that girl's a bitch, or like, oh, she's annoying. But nobody's like, her pussy is stuffed with diplomas. It's a filing cabinet. Like, high school kids do not talk about each other like that. Like Jesus.
They just don't have those jokes.
Which, right. Which, I mean, obviously it's a movie and the dialogue was funny and engaging, but I'm like, come on. But so I did like the kind of twist at the end where they do go to the party, and the kid who, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, I'm just gonna call him that, I don't even know his name, but he is seen as being, like, really stupid, but he's so nice. He's so nice to them in this movie. He's like, I'm so glad you're here at my party. You know, all of them, everybody's like, oh, you guys never come out. We always wish you were here.
Yeah, everyone's just so hype when they actually see that they're there.
Yeah, right. They're like, oh, we've always said that we wish you guys hung out with us more. And I'm like, see, these kids probably would have been so nice to you all along if you had given them a chance.
Yeah. 100%.
And I definitely liked that message. I think that is one thing that maybe was a little different from, you know, the other standards of this specific genre. Because, yeah, I think that is a really true thing in high school.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
The people who think that they're above it.
Yeah.
And that you can realize that the kids who you think are, like, whatever worse than you because they don't have the same, like, opinions. And I just mean, like, you know, kids who care about school to the point where they think that if you drink alcohol, you deserve to go to prison. Yeah. Where it's like, I don't know, the kids who party are also getting into good schools and having a good life. Yeah. And those kids aren't thinking the same mean things about the really smart kids that the smart kids are. Not that the other kids aren't even smart, too. I just mean, like, overachievers, I guess. Yeah.
People, I think a lot of high school is you having misconceptions about people, and you certainly don't get that perspective until you've already graduated high school.
And I would say that this high school that they show is a little bit comparable to maybe our experience. We had a very kind of similar, like a big high school, a lot of different people, a lot of
different
involved.
Friend groups,
So I don't know if maybe other people who have different experiences maybe look at this movie and be like, that is not what it's like at all. So I guess it does just depend on the social, like, culture. But I will say, the one thing that they kind of got right, and then it immediately, like, deviated so far that it really bothered me, was the Jessica Williams character, the teacher.
Oh, yeah, that was...
So at first, it's like, she does
that was something.
She does the crossword, and she, you know, is kind of tight with these two girls because they also do the crossword. And she was like, hey, even her giving them her phone number, I think in a lot of school systems, if anyone found out she did that, she would literally be fired. Teachers will be like, here's my email. Like,
I mean, I added teachers on Facebook after graduation type thing.
Yeah,
but
like a public sort of like if a teacher had privately gave me their phone number, no matter, I ate lunch in a teacher's room every day, like all through high school. Like, even if she had given me her personal phone number, I feel like maybe that would have been a little weird. So I don't know if whatever they were trying to show there, I do think that there are those like teacher-student relationships where it's like, oh, like you guys are my faves. We have things in common, and like, you know, you're really good in my class, and I'm gonna maybe show a little bit of favoritism towards you because whatever. But then to the point where she picks them up from the party, or picks them up at the pizza place and drives them to a party, gives them clothes out of her car to wear, and then
going into the party.
She goes into the party and fucks a student that I just could not get. I'm like, okay, so this little established relationship is weird. You give them their phone number. That's a little weird, but whatever. Not completely out of the realm of reason. Okay, she picks them up in a time of crisis. Maybe she's just has nothing better to do and is a really good person. She, like, gives them, like, advice about how to be cool and, like, what to dress. I'm like, okay, whatever. The minute she fucking goes into... She makes a joke about it. She's like, oh, should I go in? Nah, that'd be weird, right? That'd be weird. Yeah. I'm like, that is where that should have ended. The fact that they showed her, like, in the party drinking with the student, I do not know what they were trying to achieve there.
I'm not sure. It's really weird because I think that a lot of people would, like, be willing to kind of overlook that because they did make her character so likable.
Yeah. No, because she was, like, young and fun and, like, kind of relatable and cool. Yeah. But just at that point, I was like, what the fuck is this movie trying to say about... student-teacher relation. Honestly, I don't even know. And when she fucks the kid, and then she like growls into the ear of a student who she thinks is him. Oh my god, just like awkward. And I'm like, what did this add to the film? Nothing. It honestly took it away from me. That I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable by the fact that this movie is trying to do something there. Like,
I just don't know what the thought process was there. And it seems like this is a movie that's, I mean, it's all about like woke kids, sort of, you know what I mean? And it tries to be like a very smart movie, I think, in that way, and this is like this is not Booksmart.
I don't really get it. And I think that there are some, like, overtly sexual parts that I think maybe some... Like, I know I watched this with my mom, and she's like, I don't get why it has to be so raunchy at points. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. There's some that I can kind of see why they played it up for laughs, like how she masturbates with the stuffed panda. Like, that's kind of funny. I don't know. But when they're watching porn in the back of their... principal's Uber, and it gets put on the speaker. Like, that was fucking funny. There are moments that I'm like, when she fingers that girl's butthole on accident, that also, I'm like...
I understand the purpose that it serves.
But has that ever happened to anyone? The butthole...
Let us know.
No, but I'm saying, you know...
What a butthole is.
I'm not gonna get... I mean, my mom listens to this. I'm not gonna get into the textural differences between a vagina hole and a butthole, but I'm gonna say that she would not make that mistake.
You could be the biggest virgin ever, and you should be able to know.
Also, the fact that Diane Silver's character just takes it with no expression on her face, and she's like, it's not the hole you think it is. I'm like, girl, what is your... You have a gaping asshole that you could just slip it in on a fucking Tuesday night? Jesus, again, it's kind of weird because, like, they're in high school, so when all of these actors are obviously, like, in their mid-20s, so it's not that weird, but when these high school kids are in these overtly sexual situations, I can't help but, like, be a little uncomfortable because they're being portrayed as, like, I mean, I guess maybe they're 18 because they're seniors in high school, but just in general as a movie thing, I'm like, when they're showing these supposed high school kids, like, full-on fucking, I don't want to see, I mean, I don't really want to see full-on fucking in movies, like, 90% of the time, but especially if you're portraying some sort of coming-of-age high school experience, I don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it's one of those things that I think it happens a lot in these kind of movies, So it's hard to, like, pick and choose.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they should have left it out or, like, not even gone there at all, because it is, like, a fact of life, and it's a true part of whatever coming-of-age stories, but I'm just like, she is getting her butthole fingered? Like, that's a little, I don't know. Anyways.
I would kill myself if I was ever in that situation on either end.
You would say something. You'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the back door. Like, she was so nonchalant, like, it's not the hole you think it is. Like, girl, you did not give her any warning that she was doing something wrong. Anyways, I'm gonna move on from this butthole fingering situation. But I am gonna say that's part of the movie that confused me a little bit. But the most confusing thing was why the fuck Jessica Williams was having an affair with a student. The whole point was that the student had repeated the 3rd grade like 3 times or whatever, so he was actually 21, which I don't fucking care. I don't give a fuck if he's 36. I don't care if he's older than you, Jessica Williams. You don't have sex with your high school student. That's gross and unprofessional and, quite frankly, illegal.
Yeah. I want to talk about one other part of this movie that was a bit confusing in sort of why it was there. That dance sequence between Molly and Nick.
I would say that's my favorite part of this whole movie. It
just felt like such a, like, yo, look how quirky this movie is.
Yeah, it was for sure, like, they did the whole thing in one take, and you could tell that it was like, we are gonna do this, like, cool artsy film thing where we do the whole scene in one take, and I wonder how many times they had to fucking film that. I'm sure that was a whole 3 days of filming of the two of them doing this choreographed.
My feet would be so sore.
I think though that was maybe the one time that I really laughed a lot and was not something that was featured in the trailer. Like that was something that I was like, okay, like, thank you for holding this back from me, because it made me laugh so hard. They're doing, like, interpretive dance, and there's palm fronds everywhere, and because that is how you feel in high school when you, like, see your crush, and you're like, we're gonna do interpretive dance together. There's gonna be mood lighting. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, maybe that's just me. I just never had that moment, but who am I to say?
I would say Henry and I do interpretive dance at least once a day as a unit.
Okay. Okay, so there is a basis for this scene.
Yeah,
because at least for me, that was one thing I was like...
You thought it was weird and confusing? I found it relatable and really good.
I wouldn't say weird. I laughed. I thought it was funny. Yeah. But, like, sitting there and, like, actually thinking about it, I was like,
it's a little up its own ass a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely felt like one of those, like, hey, these are the quirky girls in high school.
Yeah, and like a film made by quirky girls.
Yeah. But, I mean, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought the choreography was great.
Yes, because they at first they were kind of doing ballroom, and then it was like very like interpretive, and
yeah,
they
like
were
a
like
Florence and the Machine music video.
Yes, they were like touching each other's faces. I thought it was really funny. I will say the scene I probably hate the most is the fucking pool scene. I don't want to see a underwater pool scene in a coming of age film ever. Euphoria maybe gets a pass because that's a really good show. But even then, I was like, okay, you're doing the trope.
Yeah.
And you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it, and that's it.
I just like the scene because I think the music placement is really great for that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you your opinions. I think that the soundtrack of this movie
fucking
is
slaps.
So
fucking
good.
Amazing.
So good. The placement of the music, every time I was like, yeah. That's what kept me in it, is that even when I was kind of losing it with the comedy or like the plot line and I didn't really care what was happening, literally when a fucking banger song would come on, I was like, I don't even care that this movie isn't that great because the fucking soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, I mean, there are just so many good music, not music. There's so many good.
There's so many good musics out there. There's, the fast ones, the slow ones, the medium musics.
But I mean, like they've got like quite the range in it too, as well. I mean, a lot of it feels like there's definitely like a very like big hip hop influence on it. And I mean, I really like the what is it? It's that one Run the Jewels song.
That's at the very end. And then there was
like that. And there was, but they also have like
there was Lizzo in there.
Yeah, but they've got like Parliament Funkadelic in there as well, which I thought was fun. And I don't know, there are just so many good ones. Do you have a favorite song that was in the...
Yeah, I'm trying to find...
I really liked, and I've just got it on my on my music app right now because I heard it in the film and I was like, this is fucking gold. Holy Calamity by Handsome Boy Modeling School.
Which, what is this one? Play it, I'll cut it out for copyright.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't. I thought the placement for the pool scene was really good as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
As much as, like, the pool scene, I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. It's been overdone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been beaten
But the
to death.
music was good, and I was like, oh, all right, whatever. But the Anderson .Paak song that they have in there, I would say...
that one's great.
That was my favorite. Like, I don't know, maybe just because that's my personal taste, but I was like, oh, hell yeah. But then also, there's a song, it's Open by RHYE, Rahay, or whatever. I don't know. I had never heard it before this movie, and then after this movie, I googled Booksmart soundtrack, and I, like, found it and added it to my music library. So it was definitely, like, the songs were so good that it made me seek out the source material after, which is, like, such a good thing. Not a lot of movies, I think, can say the same. Maybe almost a little too much. I would
Do you
say,
think it was so good that it was distracting?
yes, I would say that the music was almost so good and such a strong presence that at times I wasn't even paying attention.
You were just jamming?
I was just, and I'm like, you knew when something was happening, you're like, oh, a good song is about to come up, and then it would. And it always fit the tone and everything, but I would say that the music honestly was the star. At times when I'm like, I don't even care what's happening on the screen because what I'm paying attention to is the music.
Yeah, no. I want to know what your thoughts on the scene where they're tripping are.
I didn't laugh. The first, like, when I saw it in the theaters, I remember being like, this is the thing that they didn't put in the I mean, I'm gonna keep talking about how I fucking think that this trailer was just giving me too much because that's how I feel, but that was one of the things. That was a big joke, a big plot point joke where they're tripping and they're Barbies. And I was like, this wasn't in the trailer, so this was something that they...
Thought was really gonna bang.
Like, they were holding that back from me. That wasn't something that I already knew about or expected, and I just didn't think it was really that funny. I think it's a funny idea, a fun concept.
It feels like how they put in the dance sequence just to be quirkier about it.
It almost, like, didn't fit I'm not gonna say it didn't fit the vibe of the film, but it felt very jarring all of a sudden that I'm like, oh, okay, this weird thing is happening. Yeah. And I didn't really get why it needed to be there. Yeah. I think they were trying to do something, like, quirky and funny and different that just didn't really land for me. Yeah. Not, like, mad at it or anything, but I don't think it added anything.
That feels like just a really unrealistic way to show someone on drugs as well.
You know what a realistic way is? Fucking Casino Royale, James Bond gets drugged, and he goes into the bathroom and immediately pulls trig. Which they do. They do as Barbies. They're like, throw up, you need to throw up. And I did chuckle. I let some air out of my nose. You know, when she's like touching her body, she's like, I feel like a dolphin. You know, like just very smooth like a dolphin. That did get me. I do think there's a lot of really like smart and funny sort of like dialogue moments that I maybe didn't catch the first time in the theaters that I maybe caught the second time. I know we were talking about when Billie Lourd's character says she loses her virginity in a graveyard and that the spirits of the ghosts are living in her eggs.
Just waiting to be reborn.
That was something I totally didn't like pick up or really remember from the first time I saw it. But rewatching, I was like, okay, maybe this does have more, you know, merit, funny moments that I'm not giving it enough credit for.
I think a lot of the credit can go to Beanie and Caitlin's chemistry. Yeah. I think they have incredible chemistry. I think they really pulled off like the high school best friends trope very well.
Our in-house fact finder intern Jen provided me with a detailed rundown of things she found about this movie. One of which being that they put Beanie and Caitlin up in a apartment for 10 months together before
No
filming.
way.
They were like, you guys need to live together because you need to be best friends. And so they
That's
made them live
awesome.
together for a really long time before and during the filming of this movie, because they're like, we want that best friend dynamic, and they totally got it. Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, imagine if they, like, didn't really vibe with each other. If they're like, yeah, like, we're both professional actresses and we can do this on screen, but in real life, like, you don't do the dishes, and that kind of pisses me off. No, I'm sure they had people to take care of that for them. They're fucking Hollywood. But yeah, I thought that was, you know, I
thought they
guess
were
method,
great.
but a good thing, because it totally paid off. They really had that, like, those weird friend dynamic, and they don't hang out with anybody else aside from each other, like, type thing.
I think it's really funny that, like, when women do method, it's like, oh, I'm just living with my best friend for 10 months. And then when it's like guys, it's
They're
freaking...
like, I'm gonna piss on a corpse, and that's gonna make me feel rage.
Yeah, it's Jared Leto's Joker just sending dead rats to his co-stars.
Like, actual harassment.
Yeah. Guys are just dicks and girls are just having, like, the time of their lives, like, get into character.
Yeah, right. I feel like I've seen people make this point before where they're like, nobody ever talks about that they're doing method acting.
For a really nice
and
role.
they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be really nice to everybody and really positive. I might do some charity work, you know, really trying to get into this character. It's always people who need to be assholes. They're like, sorry, I'm gonna be a dick for the next year and a half. I'm just going method.
It's everyone that's ever played the Joker since Heath Ledger as well.
Okay, but literally, that should be a cautionary tale because he killed himself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he killed himself because he did method for Joker too hard, but that, I mean, certainly is something people talk about. Like, yeah, he did method and played the Joker, and then he literally committed suicide. So I don't know why
Did he commit suicide, or was it I've heard conflicting things.
I don't know too much. I'm not gonna
I know you're Heath Ledger's biggest fan.
I wouldn't say biggest, I would just say his ghost lives in my ovaries, I would say. I really like the little Lisa Kudrow pop-up moment.
Oh, I love her.
That
I think she's so good.
Yeah, what is Caitlin Denver's character? I'm sorry.
Amy.
Amy. She's Amy's mom. And I just want to fucking say that I am tired of people being mean to their parents who are trying their best as we come off this Twilight episode from last week where Bella's a fucking dick to Charlie and he's trying his best, you know, not without fault, but fucking Molly
and
Amy, I can't remember their names. Ugh. Molly and Amy want to go to a party, so they, like, go downstairs, and fucking Lisa Kudrow...
an entire spread
a graduation-themed feast, if you will, with little themed hors d'oeuvres. I would never have abandoned Lisa Kudrow like that. Literally, that's so fucking rude. If you're at your friend's house, and their parents have planned an entire graduation...
It's like, sorry, we gotta go.
They didn't even stay. It would have taken them, It would have taken them an hour to eat with the parents and, like, at least, you know...
Yeah.
Engage with all of the hard work they put into that food.
You could have had a couple of olives or some meatballs.
Right,
anything.
Just hung around for a little bit and then dipped, because they didn't even make it to the party until, like, literally
3
what
hours
feels like 12 hours after that scene.
Yeah,
I that really panged me in my heart that I was like, you're just gonna leave them here with this delicious spread of food they've made for you? It really
This is a formal apology to Amy's parents in the movie.
Yeah, if
it was us, we would have stayed and eaten.
Yeah, I would have stayed, and I probably wouldn't have left either.
Probably would not have gone to the party.
I do really relate to the Amy character, where the whole time she's like, yeah, I think we can go home now. Yeah, okay, we did the thing we said we were gonna do. We went out, we hung out with people.
I was gonna ask you which one you feel like you connect with more, because I think I lead on Amy, but I would want to be Molly.
Oh, really? I would say definitely that, like, I feel no need to be at the party. You know, she's very much like, okay,
I don't have to be at the function.
Yeah, like, we can have a good time at home, kind of, like, whatever. I guess I can kind of vibe with that. I think Beanie's character is so, like, I am strong and independent, and I'm saying what I'm thinking. I cannot relate to that. I'm just gonna mind my business.
I think High School Me certainly would have been like, okay, I want to be more in that boat, but I am so nervous and uncomfortable in the way that Amy is.
I really felt in the scene where Molly is in the bathroom and people outside are talking shit about her and she can hear it, and then she like goes out of the stall and she's like, don't stop on my account, I'm going to Yale, so good luck wherever you're going. And she was supposed to be portrayed in that like irritating way when they're all like, oh, like fuck you, I'm going to Yale too, and she's like, no way, like she's not supposed to be likable in that scene, but I was like, god damn girl, that is a lot of balls. I would have stayed in that stall. I would have picked up my feet so they didn't know I was there, and I would have waited for them to leave, and then I would have cried about it later.
I was gonna say I'd be silent crying into my hands.
Which is why there's not a movie about my high school experience.
No.
So, but yeah, I was like, oh, she's just gonna tell them how it is, huh? Because
that's bold. I mean, bold as fuck.
I do attribute maybe a lot of the like, overachiever, you know, gets into the Ivy League school type of people with being very reserved. And, like, I feel like, at least in my experience with high school, those kids who tried really hard and were kind of almost antisocial to the point that's how much they cared about school, they were not, like, telling people off. They didn't
have the time for it.
They stayed in their lane. Exactly. They were very quiet, very, like, didn't whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, girl, I guess you're just gonna pop off. Like, I guess that's when it kind of, because, you know, her dynamic that she has with her friend is obviously going to be different than how she reacts to her peers. And so maybe she's the type who's, like, really, you know, open and loud with her friends, but is more quiet and reserved in the public, which is what I was expecting her character to be. But she really was just kind of like, oh, I guess because she's the class president, too, that maybe speaks to something about her, like, social ability. But yeah, I pictured the girls to be more, like, awkward, maybe. And Amy is certainly very awkward, which is maybe why I relate to her. I love, she has the crush on the skateboarder girl, and she, like, knocks her over, and she goes, oh, sharp elbows, and she goes, not as sharp as your chin.
No, Amy's character in that way did make me feel very seen.
Yeah, like, never knows what to say, says the wrong thing. Yeah,
as a young queer girl that has no idea how to interact with other queer women.
I do think they really, I don't know if they were, like, really saying something with this, or if they are kind of like, haha, jokes on you, audience, about how the really queer-coded love interest ends up...
That felt weird.
Like, she ends up getting with Beanie's crush, you know, so it's like, oh, both of their crushes end up together. And it felt kind of out of hand, and I didn't know if it was supposed to be like, oh, we're sticking it to you. You thought she was gonna be gay. No. Push your expectations to the side, you stereotyping asshole. I was like, am I supposed to feel bad about myself for just, like...
assuming?
Like, you know, leaning into the assumption that this girl is also gay.
That they fully set you up for the entire time.
Yeah. I don't know if that was supposed to be, like, a gotcha moment. Like,
I mean, like, yeah, it was one of those things, like, Amy said it in the beginning.
Gender performance, and they do address it, for sure.
That's just her gender performance and everything like that. So it just felt like a very... I don't know. They could have done that differently, but also I kind of understand. I don't know. I don't even want to say that I understand what they were doing. It was just a way to, like, screw both of the protagonists over in, like, one punch almost, and to facilitate their whole big blowout.
And I also don't really get either why Amy's character then goes and makes out with Diane Silvers in the bathroom, because she's just really mean to her, and she's like, I don't like meek people. And then she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll show you. Let's have sex. Like, it was just really weird, and her character didn't have as much development as a lot of the other ones maybe did. It was, I think she should have fucked Gigi. I don't know. Make Gigi gay or something.
Dude, Gigi would show you a good time. Gigi was all over her, too. but that was, I mean, I think it was entirely just like a... I'll show you type thing, because she did just get screamed at by Molly, calling her a pussy. Yeah. And she goes and does that, and then she goes and...
fingers a butthole, I guess.
Yeah, and then goes and gets arrested. So it's just, I think it's just her doing, like, a fuck you to whoever, like, questions her, I guess.
I guess I understand why it was there, but just that specific like character, I'm like,
weird choice.
Why are you guys...
Yeah, no, I think it certainly could have been improved if she just got with Gigi.
I feel
Gigi wouldn't have even... Okay, Gigi
would not have flinched. Would not have. She already has something up there, to be honest. But I also felt
Gigi's
like
Gigi's coming out with the butt plug in.
It's like it's a strobe light, though. But as far as like weird couple choices, though, I also didn't really get the Molly and Jared at the end. I liked their little conversation where he's like, nobody really knows me, you know, because
I want to fly planes.
He's like, yeah, I want to fly planes and write musicals, and I have a personality too. Everyone, you know, hears rumors about me because I'm really wealthy and whatever, which, you know, whatever they're trying to do there. It was a cute, nice little moment. But I'm like, then the two of them get together. I'm like, there's zero foundation for any romance that happens.
They just had one really nice conversation.
Yeah,
she's like,
that is true though. In high school, you're like, oh, if somebody of the opposite sex of me is being nice.
I mean, that's pretty much what she did with Nick, like, the entire party beforehand.
But she didn't even think he was nice up until that point.
Right?
She had this very long developed crush on this boy who she hated, supposedly.
She was like, I can't like him. I know I can't like him.
Which is, you know, maybe why she was like, you know, suppressing it and using that as a way to, you know, validate her. Yeah. Like, oh, instead of liking him, I'm just gonna hate him. But she, throughout the movie, gives specific examples of how he's not a helpful vice president and how he's, you know, a meathead, whatever. So clearly there is some basis into her dislike of him. But then all of a sudden it's just like, oh no, he's the boy that I've been pining after for years. Which he is a dime. That boy is... I was gonna say, like, not that we have to get into it now, but the fuck, marry, kill might be kind of off the table for this movie because I think
they're all portraying high school students.
They're all portraying high school students, and, you know, you can say, like, oh, well, they're all 23.
But
so I don't want to talk about that, but I will say that I think Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son is a slice of cake. But anyways, I think we should kind of, like, literally for fuck, marry, kill, what would our options be? You have Lisa Kudrow,
Jason Sudeikis, the teacher,
Jessica Williams, who literally fucks an underage person, so I don't really want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
The pizza driver who ends up being a sex offender.
Serial killer, sex offender, something.
Like, I just don't think there's really enough for us to work
Well, I'm
with.
marrying Jason Sudeikis.
I guess
just because I know he needs someone right now.
I'm gonna fuck, marry, and kill Jason Sudeikis. I'm gonna marry Jason Sudeikis and use it as a way to get in with Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles, and then I'm also gonna leave him and be join their throuple. So that would be a really big diss on him.
Destroy him and completely emotionally.
But instead of doing a fuck, marry, kill, I will maybe just, like, shout out some good performances, I guess.
I really liked the duo of the two gay boys in the drama department.
So funny. And the like, what is it, dinner mystery
I loved that
party. And they're like, you're gonna be the farm girl and you're going to be the barren orthodontist.
Why do I have to be barren?
So funny. And yeah, their dynamic. You're at a 10, I need you at a 2.
Yeah.
Like, really, I thought that was pretty funny. It was so good time.
I've got something else we can do instead of fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
So there's 3 parties at this.
Okay.
So which party do you skip altogether? Which one do you go to for, like, an hour, and what one do you end up at?
Okay.
For the night.
So I was gonna, like, this is honestly a little tough because you don't really get as much screen time at the first 2, clearly, as you do at the third, but I do think it is enough to make this decision, and I
want to go to the murder mystery, honestly.
Yes,
I want to end up there.
Yeah, I want to go to the murder mystery I'm skipping the third party. Fuck the third party. Parties like that,
I would pregame at that party and then go to the murder mystery.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the first party, though, where they are talking so much shit about this party, and it just seems...
outstanding.
The planning that went into it. I love that his face was on everything. He had the t-shirt of him wearing a t-shirt of him wearing a t-shirt of his face.
I love him.
He was so great. And he was like, and they were like, you can't buy our affection. And I'm like, but you certainly, he's being so funny.
Yeah.
To give out gift bags at your graduation party with your own face on it is not just buying people's attention. It's doing a bit.
Yeah.
And doing it flawlessly.
He's so committed to the bit, and no one seems to appreciate that.
I
feel like I would have been friends with Jared in high school, or else I wanted to.
Yeah. him and Gigi seem to have this weird, like, they're the rich kids that are like too weird to be friends with.
At first I thought they were siblings.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and at one point people are like, are you guys dating? And they're like, no, we're just best friends. Yeah. But he was also one who was just so nice to them from the very beginning, that he was maybe in that, category of people that they thought they were better than. And he picks them up with zero question.
He's a saint.
Drives them to his party, is like, I think you guys are cool, I want to hang out with you. And the whole time they're like, this is weird and lame and we want to leave. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? I would have been stoked as fuck in high school, or even literally now, if somebody's like, yeah, I have a boat with catering and
fireworks
and iPads, and also there's only gonna be like maybe 4 or 5 of us here.
That sounds like a bomb time.
Perfect. I'm like, y'all are complaining, but you didn't even want to go to a party in the first place. So this is your ideal situation that you're here with like 2 kind of weird and fun.
We can't even rip on Amy though. Amy knew, and Amy did not. I mean, I guess she had some beef, but
she was not having fun. She was more like anxious and not having fun.
Yeah.
And Beanie's goal was obviously Molly to get to the party to see her crush. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, live in the moment for a second and realize that you're on a private yacht with catering with 2 lovable weirdos. Mm-hmm. That could be a very fun night in itself. But so I would say that maybe I would go to that one for 10 minutes, and then I would stay at the murder mystery. That
looks like a great time.
I love a structured event.
Right.
Oh my god, where maybe the role playing would be a little uncomfortable for me, but I think if I was drunk enough and everybody else was really into it, I could be
Once you have a couple of drinks, you get like really impassioned into your performance.
I could be a barren orthodontist. I could play that up completely. I love that vibe that like the weird theater kids are also having a party, but it's that type of vibe, because I think that kind of captured the different ways that high school kids kind of choose to, I'm not gonna say like
spend their time,
not just like party or whatever, or like
socialize.
Not like break the rules, because they're having this big house party, right? But that's not everyone's truth.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just saying, like all
I kind of see what you're
not that a yacht is realistic, and not that a full-on murder mystery is realistic, but I did think that it was nice that they showed, the different things that reflected the kids' personalities. So the 2 weird rich kids are going to be staked out on a private yacht with LSD-dripped strawberries, because that's what the weird rich kids do, and the theater kids are going to be, so it wasn't that stereotypical house party that we got at the end that you see in all the movies. We got the little taste of the other ones too, which I liked.
A nice little tasting tray, if you will.
Yeah.
Charcuterie board.
I'm going to skip the last party. Too many people. None of them were wearing masks. No social distancing. It made me very uncomfortable. I would definitely go to the yacht party for a little bit, and stay at the murder mystery party for sure. Those kids seem like a really fun time.
Yeah, I would certainly enjoy that. You make a good point about the yacht one. I feel like I'd probably fall into this. I would want to, I would think that I could go to the big one, but then once I get super nervous because I don't know anyone.
That was a very, like, when Amy was, like, just kind of not sure what to do or who to talk to, and, like, when that one girl was like, oh, like, come do karaoke with us, and she's sitting there, she's like, this is weird for me. For sure, that's, like, at the function, you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing. But when they're singing Alanis Morissette with karaoke, I thought that was so funny. But why was the murder mystery party kid at the
I guess that
party?
Was where they came after. I don't know.
They did a whole murder mystery dinner theater theme party, and then he had time to boot on over to sing some Alanis Morissette.
There was that one scene where his family's in the kitchen, and he's like, I have the house until 11:30. So I mean...
Yeah, that's true. So maybe,
I guess
yeah, maybe the timeline of this is not quite as quick as I think
it couldn't have been more than like 12:30 when they got there. So
I wanted to bring up something that I learned pretty recently, which I think is crazy, that You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette was written about fucking Uncle Joey from Full House.
No fucking way.
Yeah. The blonde comedian one. Let me look up the actor's name. Yeah, the
he was in 101 Dalmatians.
The less hot uncle, like not even Uncle Jesse. If that song was about John Stamos, like maybe I would get it. But it was that so Alanis Morissette and let me look at his name is Dave Coulier.
So what's the backstory?
Whatever. So they dated, and he was a little bit older than her, maybe like 10, 15 years. And he was kind of like starting to get serious about it and like, I want to have kids. And she's like, well, I'm still kind of young, but like, I do like you, but like maybe not kids right now or anything. And so then he broke up with her and immediately got with somebody a little more his age, and then they, started a family, whatever. But so she writes that song about being like, she's not gonna suck your dick in the movie theater like I did, Uncle Joey. Like, basically,
that's amazing.
Isn't that crazy that song is about that goofy man? That really cracks me up. Anyways, has nothing to do with Booksmart other than that they sang that song.
Caitlin Dever kills it.
Yeah, I think it was like a weird, like, they showed her playing that weird harp guitar earlier, and she was singing, and that was like, maybe she's a little bit musically inclined.
I'm pretty sure she's actually in a band or something like that. Like,
it was very like, the shy girl gets up to the microphone and can actually sing, like, very that to me. So I'm like, ugh, eye roll. But it was,
you gotta give it to her. She's got a great voice.
Yeah, but she could actually sing, and it was like, okay, like a fun way to show that she's like breaking out of her shell or whatever. Yeah. But I was like, okay, again with like the weird girl is gonna do karaoke to Alanis Morissette. Like,
So what do we serve at the function when we're watching Booksmart? Because immediately I just think that we watch the scene where they've got that spread and we just
remake graduation. Yeah, I would say that would be a really good one. Graduation themed. They talk about a few of them. They're like stuffed mushroom caps. Or whatever. And like
they've all got cute little names.
Yeah. So I think that would be a really fun, definitely high effort, but very fun. I would say lower effort. You could do strawberries, chocolate dipped strawberries, boozy strawberries.
That'd be good.
My mom does like Bailey's strawberries, where she injects Bailey's into the strawberries and then dips them in chocolate. So they're like boozy chocolate strawberries.
That's hot.
So that could be, maybe don't put ayahuasca on the strawberries, but put, something like fun. Or, when you can like soak fruit and booze and make like boozy fruit. I don't know, make like boozy strawberries or something for the GGC, and that would be fun. I'm trying to think. Pizza. They
got some pizza.
Pizza could be. I mean, if you're gonna just do like related, I think for sure that they have the graduation themed charcuterie spread.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. And for drinks, where my head immediately went was, what was I drinking in high school? And I think that what you do is you get whatever vodka of your choice that you had in high school, and you have to do at least 1, maybe 2 shots of that, and then like, I don't know, like Natter Days. Natter Days? It's like the lemonade beer.
Yeah, like a Natty Light. But it's lemonade. Yeah, drink whatever nasty shit you could scrounge up in high school. I would say so.
What was yours? What was your go-to vodka? Because mine was Pinnacle.
Warm. From a backpack.
Yeah, always warm.
From under somebody's bed in a backpack wrapped up in a blanket.
It could be in a water bottle.
A little above room temp. I would say that may be a fun drink. Could be like a jungle juice if you're not trying to like pound shots of warm vodka and like be miserable. I would say that's a very like.
I just think to humble yourself. I think that's where.
Yeah, right. Start the movie
with. I feel like Fireball could. I know a lot of people drank Fireball in high school.
Oh my god! But so. Like a fun jungle juice that you could maybe customize to your more adult personal tastes.
Please use Tito's.
Yeah, please don't use warm. I stand by the Absolute brand. I don't harbor any resentment from it, but it needs to have ice in it. Please put ice in your drink.
At the very minimum. If you want to get like a beer that's just not trash, like just get something from your local brewery.
I would say, honestly, if you do like pizza and beer with this movie, that would kind of match the vibe, maybe. But I think you would also definitely have to take into account like whatever you're serving for food as well.
If you don't want to go like
balls to the
walls and make an entire graduation spread, just get some pizza and some nice beer.
Yeah, it could be fun. And what movie would you play after this?
I mean, the obvious choice is Superbad.
Yeah, I would say like watching it would make me angry though. It would make me upset.
I mean, like, I was trying to think of any other, like, coming-of-age teen girl movies, and I think
Lady Bird is just better than...
Lady Bird's better, but Lady Bird also I don't like her.
Well, I don't like either of the girls in this movie either.
Exactly. So it just feels like watching, like, two unlikable characters to, like, one unlikable character, but you kind of, like, get where she's coming from more and feels a bit more relatable. I like Lady Bird's mom better than I like Lady Bird.
That's how you know you've grown up, is when you agree with Lady Bird's mom. I would say Beanie's character in this is certainly, different from her character in Lady Bird. It's definitely, like, two
That's
different.
good. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, if we want to do a...
For some reason, they always make her living in, like, a retro-looking apartment complex. In this movie, in the first scene, when Caitlin Denver picks her up, she is coming out and she lives in this, like, 50s diner-looking retro apartment complex.
Yeah.
And literally in Lady Bird, she also lives in, like, I'm like, did they just extract that, like...
They're just typecasting her for the girl that lives in the really weird retro house.
Like, I just don't understand. I mean, I don't think that was intentional by any stretch, but it's just, like, struck me as very odd. Yeah. I am really excited for her to be Monica Lewinsky.
I know!
Oh my god, I think she's gonna crush it. I really hope she does.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see her in more.
I think she's great in this and in Lady Bird.
Yeah.
I think she really could have easily made those two characters very similar. Mm-hmm. And I think they were very different, and she showed some range. Playing two very similar, best friend, high school, maybe a little bit of a try-hard girl. Yeah. It could have ended up being very one-note, but I think she showed range within, two similar characters.
I think Lady Bird might be the move, actually, now that I think about it, because it feels like a more realistic portrayal of your high school experience.
Yeah, not quite so, like, blown out of proportion and ridiculous, but they are just different movies. But I would say that both Lady Bird and Superbad are just better than this. I'm trying to think of, like, what's a bad, like, coming of age. Honestly,
Kissing Booth.
I was gonna say, watch that? This might be a little controversial, but, like, The Edge of 17...
I don't remember much of that. I just remember
Me either,
Woody
but
Allen.
I feel like
Woody Allen. God. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Woody Harrelson. That's probably the most offensive thing I've ever said.
Imagine if Woody Allen fucking played... I guess Edge of 17, though, could be another, like, kind of silly coming-of-age teenage story you could watch. I don't know.
I just don't remember that one at all. I remember I liked it when I saw it, but I don't know. You could just watch a really, really bad Netflix one. If you don't want to watch a movie that's going to make you mad about Booksmart, you could just watch a movie that's going to make you mad in general and watch... What is it, like, To All the Boys I Loved Before or something like that? Oh my god. Or, like I said, like, The Kissing Booth, one of those, like, really...
Just watch a bad Netflix original.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say you could watch, like, an Olivia Wilde movie, maybe, because this is her...
I don't feel like I've watched any Olivia Wilde movies ever.
But, like, she directed this one, so maybe you could watch something she acted in to do a little... But I honestly don't care. I just don't care. I know she was in Richard Jewell, which I hated, and she was in Tron, which is okay. She was in Her, which I also just don't give a shit about, so...
I guess you
can watch Dunkirk. I mean, I hate that movie too, so I don't even know what to say for this one. Yeah, I guess...
Just wait till Don't Worry, Darling comes out.
I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think Florence Pugh's gonna kill it. I'm interested to see Harry Styles acting once again, and...
Hopefully they don't give away the entire plot to me in the fucking trailer.
I have a feeling they might.
What else do I do? Yeah, I guess maybe Superbad would be my final choice after this, just because the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah, just the brother-sister duo.
And... Oh, like, what would you rate this out of 10?
I really enjoy this movie. I think it gives me a really good laugh every time I watch it. And I think it was really well done. I think I'd give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7.
All right, that's fair.
What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it like a 3. It makes me blow air out of my nose kind of fast at some points, and it was a disappointment from how high my expectations were set by all the hype about it and the trailer, and then it ended up just being like, ugh. So, but it's a good, fun movie, good performances. Like I said, if it was like on, I wouldn't like turn it off out of hate. But yeah, I like a 3. I would like to see a lot of the people in this movie go on to do maybe
Something else.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily something more serious, but maybe just like things where they can individually shine a little bit better.
I think each person in this movie could certainly do well as the lead in any other movie, and I'd like to see that.
For sure.
I want to see Jared's character. I want to see him in like a big starring role.
Maybe he's just like that, though. Do you ever wonder if people are good actors or if that's just their personality, you know?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, I really, I failed to mention before about the Evan Hansen kid who plays the, like, theater drama gay boy character. Yeah. How, when he was, like, when I was in Ibiza, in Barcelona, that is such, like, a thing that people who study abroad do. That's more of a college thing. No.
I really like that one. That was a really good detail to like just add.
I know that like high school coming of age is the genre, you know, like within itself. But I just don't understand what Hollywood has against college-aged people. Like, I think I understand that they're doing like a we're leaving for college high school experience last night. There's never a movie about 22, like it would have honestly maybe would have been a bit more realistic and appropriate if this was a movie about college kids.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever seen a college age movie.
Because then if they're like fucking and drinking, it's not really that weird to watch. I don't know. Why are there no movies about college age people?
I can't think of one right off the top of my head.
Well, people are either 25 in real life playing a high schooler, or it's a movie about adult, like, you know.
Like, college is a very important time for a lot of people. It's really crazy that there's not...
And even TV shows, too.
A period of time represented.
I think Euphoria, make them be in college. That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Like...
No one's doing that many drugs in high school, but they are certainly doing that many drugs in college, let me tell you.
Or, like, dressing in, like, BDSM leather daddy gear. Like, that's not that weird in college, but it's a little weird in high school.
I've definitely had that girl in my class
She's like I mean, now we're just talking about Euphoria, but, like a lot of the subplot lines, even for this movie, too, though, a lot of the plot lines really would make more sense if they were a little bit older. But I guess you do get that kind of, like, silly dynamic of high school kids, which maybe you wouldn't get as much. But
college is more segmented. I don't think it would have worked, I suppose, but...
Who would you give the gold star? You get 1 gold star.
Oh, no.
And you get to give it to somebody in this movie.
I mean, the obvious choice is Billie Lourd, but I don't want to give it to her. I want to give it to the guy that was, like, the manager of the drama department. You said his name. I can't remember his name.
Noah Galvin?
He was, like, the one that's, like, directing the whole thing.
I literally might be saying his name.
I really loved his performance in this. I thought he was great. I thought he was so funny. If I couldn't give it to him, I'd probably give it to the kid that played Jared.
The dynamic between the 2 gay kids was good. Really funny.
I would believe that they put those 2 kids up in an apartment together for 10 months as well.
Honestly, if the movie had been about the 2 of them, and they had just had a running in with Amy, and they, like, bumped into them at the library on the way to the function or whatever, that would have been a better movie, to be honest. Noah Galvin, I'm saying his name right. I always, could be potentially butchering anything at any given moment.
I don't know why, but for some reason he really stuck out for me, and I just really liked him. Who would you say?
I would definitely say the choreographer of the dance scene. Like, that little interpretive dance scene, it was just so fucking funny, and I think the only reason it paid off for me was because it was hilarious. Because the dance moves they were doing were so, like, making fun of interpretive dance in a way that really tickled me. Whereas if they were just doing, like, ballroom dancing or something, it would have been too serious and too, like, up its own ass. We're doing, like, a film moment. So I think whoever choreographed that really caught the vibe of what it should be. And so I'll give it, but if I'm doing it for acting, performance... oh my god, I'm looking at the cast right now. In the very beginning, when she's listening to that podcast that's like, you are a queen.
Yeah, who is that?
You are strong. It's Maya Rudolph.
Yes.
That's so funny. I would have not known that. But yeah, when good. You are a badass. Fuck them in their stupid fucking faces.
Yeah.
I'll give it to... Fucking Diane Silvers for not even flinching at getting something up the butt. And getting vomited onto. She's honestly not very nice about it, though. If somebody threw up on me, I'd be like, oh, don't worry. It's okay. We're drunk. Really? I mean, I think I'd be pissed, but I wouldn't let them know because I would feel bad for them. Because I'd be like, oh, like, that sucks it sucks for the person who throws up more than it sucks for the person who gets thrown up on. Emotionally.
Definitely emotionally, but I think my first instinct would just be to scream.
but then she's like, she gets in the shower. They're in a bathroom, so she gets in the shower.
If I got thrown up on, then I would immediately throw up myself.
Yeah. That's where I thought it was going. She drinks the cigarette water, which is totally a relatable moment. Like, where she's like, accidentally drinks, like, the cigarette water. But she holds it in her mouth for, like, 5 minutes, maybe, for, like, effect. Not 5 minutes, like 10 whole seconds, though. And then she spits it back out, and then she vomits. I'm like, girl, you held it in your mouth.
You're getting that full cig taste.
I'm like, maybe that's why spit it back out and then wash it out with some water.
The nicotine buzz she must get from that.
That's why she was acting up against those cops.
Yeah. She was spinning.
She had a head rush. No, but actually I would probably give it to Jared, too. I think his character was a fun one. Yeah. And I think he maybe kind of did the same, like, Billy Lord, crazy rich kid, unrealistic, nobody acts like that, really silly. But at least his had, like, human moments where he's like, oh, like, I feel like nobody really knows me. Whatever, whereas Billy Lord's character was just fucking popping off the whole movie. So
I did really like that scene at graduation where she's just playing.
Oh my god, playing fucking Mozart, and when she jumps off the boat to just she's really great in this movie.
Stole the movie for sure.
She is one that I do feel though, like, will she ever get a big role? Like a big starring role in something, or will she always get these little side parts, which she'll do well, but because of the, like, nepotism, your mom is Princess Leia type beat. You know, she was in Star Wars, but for literally 3 seconds. Yeah. Anyways,
I think she's great. I think she could definitely do well in a big.
I would like to see Billy Lord's acting chops.
Yeah.
I challenge you, Billy Lord. I'll fund your movie if you want.
Yeah. Speaking of, we'll fund it with our merch that is now on sale.
Oh, what a great segue.
Thank you. I'm proud of that one.
We have a website, web domain. It's not even like at blogspot.com or anything.
WordPress.
It's literally for real. No, it's just theswamppodcast.com.
Yeah.
So we have a website, and from there you can find our merch page. We have tote bags, stickers, pins. You can also support my Etsy where I make movie-themed pins, which all, of that is kind of mixed in with the podcast stuff. Also, that's some of the stuff that we do for giveaways. So if you want to check out the merch page, but you don't want to buy it, be sure to... Oh, this is the 3rd episode. We can do a giveaway.
All right.
So speaking of, we'll be doing a giveaway, probably with some merch involved. So you can...
Tell us who you'd give the gold star for Booksmart.
Yeah, Booksmart. Or if you haven't seen... Booksmart, I don't really know why you're listening to this episode, but whatever, like, coming-of-age, high school, teenage movie you like or maybe dislike. But yeah, who would you give a big fat gold star to, acting-wise, production-wise, literally any aspect of this movie? What would you slap a gold star on? We'll put some little polls up on Twitter and Instagram, but also feel free to email us, theswamppod@gmail.com, and our website now has, like, a contact us function, so if you want to just add it
leave
there,
us some comments,
and leave us your name, and next week we will draw the winner and we'll give away some free shit, which is one of our favorite things to do. But in the meantime, if you don't want to wait for the free shit and you want to get some reasonably priced merch shit, check out our merch page. We've been putting a lot of work into it, and we're really excited to share it with you guys. And also, fucking like our shit on Twitter. We're really funny. No, we have not been getting the engagement we deserve. I photoshopped my face into Tom Holland's asshole, and it got, like, no likes. And honestly,
please give Dara the recognition she deserves on this one.
I was really proud of myself, and I didn't get any love from the Twitter feed. No. We also got canceled recently, which was a huge bummer. We said that the cat from Alien, Jonesy, is a lesbian, and everyone came for us, and they're like, you are sexualizing animals and this is offensive to lesbians.
Yeah, no.
And we were like, oh no,
It was
that's
a rough
not what we meant.
It was a rough 24 hours.
But anyways, don't cancel us. Instead, send us your thoughts on Booksmart and on whatever movies you'd like to see us do next.
Give us your recommendations.
Yeah, next month
we're always open for
We're going to
them.
talk a little bit next month about award seasons, but not necessarily confined to this award season. So if you have some thoughts about the Oscars literally in general or how you're feeling about this next one, we'll definitely, as we get more listener feedback, we'll kind of maybe include a little segment at the end here where we like read some fun stuff that people have
Fan
sent
mail.
us. Yeah, I mean, right now we have some of our 5-star iTunes reviews up on our page, which I just think are very funny to read because they're mostly from people who I've like physically harassed into to giving us the 5-star reviews. But yeah, anyways, check out our stuff. We'd really appreciate it, and thanks for listening.